Having to pick just one item for my speech honestly was very hard. I couldn't decide between some things, but I think what represents me the most would be this, or at least what it stands for. Just a regular jersey that I bought for the World Cup. Nothing too special about it, really. Nice design, but the design of it isn't what really represents me. What I think represents me would be the connection and unity that the World Cup is able to bring to me, my friends, and my family. Growing up as an immigrant family, I didn't have a lot of family in the US just because a lot of them are still living in Mexico. So the small amount of family that I did have here, I cherished when I was younger. It's not the same anymore, but back then, back in the 2014 World Cup, actually, I remember Mexico's first game, me, my mom, my siblings, my aunts and uncles, we decided to have a little party for the game. I still remember it to this day, even though I was so young. I remember my mom doing a face paint on me just because I wanted to, and I wanted to go all out. Being with my family was something that I really looked forward to, just because growing up poor with just my mom was really rough, and we didn't have a lot of experiences that we could like enjoy and take advantage of. So just being able to be with family was something that was very important to me. Something that also is important to me is how this, not just the jersey, but the sport itself connected me and my friends. Back in middle school, we actually watched the 2022 World Cup in class. We still, to this day, with the new World Cup coming in, we still reference back to it, being in class, having to sneak our phones or finding some random website on our Chromebooks to watch the games during class, which we shouldn't have done. But still, we always look back at those memories, and I think that's something that's gonna stick with us for sure, just because of how monumental that was to us. Being to support different countries or different teams, different players, stuff like that. We would fight each other with who was better, but I think at the end of it, it just brought us all together. And I think that's what the sport soccer, or football as you should call it, really is about. You need unity and connection. It's the world's most watched sport. It's a very entertaining game. Being able to connect all countries from around the world just for one sporting event is truly, it's a feat for sure, just because of how different politics work. Everybody puts stuff aside just for this World Cup. It's amazing what it's able to do. For example, there was this player, his name was Didier Drogba. Back then, there was different factions at war in his country, Ivory Coast, and it was back in 2007. After winning, him and his teammates made a speech in the locker room. It was able to stop war momentarily just by bringing together. This is what he did actually. He went like this during his speech. I wasn't even born yet, but the story behind that is just truly powerful. And that's why I think this soccer jersey, this football jersey, is what really represents me.